Michael, Dr. T. Tequila here, and I'm really excited about the Atlantic Coast Veterinary Conference. I've been talking to some of the speakers. It's a great conference to go to. For me, it's very local. It's very easy to get to, but it's a smaller of the conferences, but I find it filled with a wealth of knowledge. There's greater than 200 hours of CE for everyone out there. And this year, there's hot topics like oncology, shelter medicine, and feline. Feline medicine is one of the hot topics here, and I'm really proud to speak with Dr. Elizabeth Colleran. She is the past president of the American Association of Feline Practitioners. She's on numerous boards. She's a blogger, a speaker. She owns 2 veterinary hospitals, and she just keeps going. And she's going to be giving 9 hours of lectures, so 9 hours of the CE that we're going to see this October 9th through 12th. So Dr. Colleran, thanks so much for speaking with me, and I love to hear what you have to talk about at the conference.
Well, it's all things feline, of course, but we're going to talk about some really pressing issues. One of them is the one that doctors have so much frustration with, and that's feline interstitial cystitis. And we're going to talk about what the science that we know now about it, and it will represent a whole new approach to managing this frustrating disease.
That's great.
So that's one.
Yep.
See, we're going to talk about respiratory diseases in cats, pancreatitis, that's always a hot topic, because in dogs, when dogs have pancreatitis.
Yes.
And in cats, like so many other things, not so much. So we need to be able to recognize it when we see it. And the other piece that I'm really excited about, because it has a lot of video in it, is we're going to talk about a lot of ways to interact with cats in the exam room to keep that dreaded arousal under control. It'll be fun.
I know a lot of things, and I know Dr. Marty Becker's talking about fear-free practices and so forth, and I know you've been involved with that as well. So is there something simple that a recent practice owner, is there something they can do that's basic that would really make it a fairly feline-friendly practice, something simple and basic?
Oh, sure. It doesn't cost any money to do some of these things that I'm going to talk about, but one of them is not sending anybody in to handle the cat before you do. So in my world, nobody touches my patient until I do. Because think about how arousal happens in cats. It's cumulative, right? So the more strangers are involved, the more aroused the cat is, the less likely they are to be able to get a good physical exam, for example. So that's free. It just takes a little bit of discipline. And then what happens is about 10 minutes or so into the exam, you bring in your technician or veterinary nurse, and you introduce them as part of the team. And so then you begin to develop this sort of team approach to patient care that I think is so important. And I think that relationship that we demonstrate of our support staff with us to the clients is really important.
I was actually going to ask you a question about the value of the technicians in practice, and you answered that before I even had that. No, that's great.
So reading your mind is something I'll talk about too.
And so one last thought is where do you see the profession going? I know that there's a lot of corporate entities coming in and buying our practices up and so forth, but do you have a personal take on where you see the industry going over the next 10 years or so?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that there's going to be more and more large entities that own veterinary practices. I think the most important thing that we have to be careful about is to preserve and protect our practice ethics, our practice protocols, our relationships with valued staff members, and that whole team thing. And if we keep our eye on that ball, let's make it a wonderful experience for cats and their owners or dogs and their owners in our environment, then I think we'll be fine no matter what happens.
That is so well said. Dr. Colleran, thanks so much. That you just summed up so many things so well. I'm excited to see you talk. It's October 9th through 12th in Atlantic City. It's the Atlantic Coast Veterinary Conference. I look forward to meeting you in person. And, I don't want to interfere with your talks, but I'll be probably running up to you and shaking your hand and everything like that.
Well, there's always wine.
There's always wine, absolutely.
Sweet.
Okay.
Sounds like fun.
Okay.
I'll see you in October in Atlantic City.
Thanks so much.